Hey guys, I'm having to make another video on YouTube and then put it on Facebook because for some reason I can't post videos directly on Facebook. So it is what it is and we're just going to deal with it. I wanted to go ahead and make a video kind of going over everything that I've kind of taken in listening to my two favorite news sources. That's BCP and the Surfing with Santa. I take both of those, then I take what I pick up through dreams, through visions, through hearing, and just knowing. I combine all that together to come up with some stuff, and I'm usually pretty much right on with that. I do not have anyone that calls me up, texts me, sends me any good news on Twitter. I do have a Twitter account, I just never get on it. I have a Parler account, but I use that to read the news. So I'm not picking up, I don't have any angel anons or anybody on the inside or anything like that. This is just things that I pick up, like I said. So this is what I've accumulated so far. I saw a video about Mitch McConnell, and it went, let's see, all the way back before Clarence was a Supreme Court justice. I forgot the guy's name. I apologize. I got to find that video. It was really good. What had happened was this guy was qualified to be a Supreme Court justice. I mean, he was, from what this video said, everybody that was interviewed on it said, he would have been great. But when they got to asking some questions and stuff, one of the questions they asked him is, why do you want to be a Supreme Court justice? And he said, because he wanted the challenge. Now, do know that they were asking all kinds of other questions. What if you were Supreme Court justice when this happened? And what if you were Supreme Court justice when this happened? And blah, blah, blah. And he answered the questions. And one of the Republican senators just came out and asked him that last question. And that was the answer he gave. And sometimes when you answer something, you blurt out something, you're being honest without really taking the time to think about how you should answer or what's the proper way to answer. And not that saying that he wanted the challenge, because sometimes when people are really smart, they like to be stimulated by thinking. Me, for one of them, I get bored very easy. And if it's always routine and I don't have to think about it, I get very bored. I love learning new things. You can show me something like one time and I got it. I love the challenge. I used to love looking for money. When dropped in, not when I did it, when someone else did it, I liked looking for it. When I did it, I got frustrated. I wanted to pull my hair out. I mean, who would have ever thought a zero could be such a large number? I mean, all it takes is to put a zero in the wrong spot. Yeah. I mean, there were hours I'm sitting there going through paperwork, re-adding, and then seeing that zero. And I'm like, what the shit? Are you kidding me? I just dropped a zero? Oh my God, I've been looking for millions of dollars. It was here the whole time. Yeah, so, I mean, but as funny as it sounds, it's exciting. So I understand where he was coming from when he said that answer. Law is very interesting because the way it is, you can manipulate it. You can bend it, you can twist it, you can find little bitty holes and you can stretch those holes bigger. And if someone is a better debater than you and can get up and convince a judge that their interpretation is the interpretation that you should follow, I mean, that's a good attorney. I mean, think of all these people that have gotten off of cases that should have never gotten off. Besides, let's just say, besides letting things not be shown into evidence that should have been shown in. Some of these people are just really good at their job. You have to be smart, and you have to figure out everything that could have possibly been done wrong. You have to look at so many things. You have to dissect things. So there's a lot to being a really good attorney. So I figure that's what he was thinking about. Do you love this? It's like a game. They get in my shirt and then I can't get them out. Oh, God. Oops, sorry. So that's what he was thinking, getting these really big cases and listening to them and then having to really think hard about the answer and to do the research and, the Constitution and debate with the other judges. And, that's what he was thinking. So I don't think that he would have been a bad judge. I don't know him personally. I was very young when all this happened. But just listening to the interview, that's what I picked up on him. So Mitch McConnell was really upset because he really wanted this guy in the Supreme Court. Now, what I did learn about Mitch McConnell is he is very strict to the Constitution. He's all about law and order. He's all about right and wrong. He does not like people twisting the law into their own, however they want to interpret it. It should be straight. And this is why he is a very powerful person in the Senate. So I have a lot more respect for him. Now, a lot of people take everything that's going on with all these judges being put in the Supreme Court justice as all Donald Trump. And watching this video, it's not that way. It's Mitch McConnell. A lot of people don't realize that. People cannot listen to me with your butt in their face. So, what Mitch McConnell did after that one judge, that judge said that was not it for him. And he got with some other people. He got into, God, what was some of the schools? I can't remember the schools. Like I said, I got to find the documentary and put it on there. It's like 45 minutes, well worth your watch. It's very educational. And I think more people need to watch these things because you understand more of what's going on. This is why history is so important. If you forget about what happened in the past, you don't understand what's going on in the future. You're completely and utterly lost. And history does have a way of coming back and repeating itself or kicking you in the tushy. So, this is why history is important. It's one of the most underrated classes that anyone can take. I took every history class I could take. Even if I didn't need, I was taking history. I love it. And after this next term with President Trump, a lot more things are going to be released and a lot more facts are going to come out by things. So watch what I post when I post something. I posted this picture of a man standing in front of this like gigantic samurai sword. And the caption said, "Who could have wielded something like this?" Now, the reason I posted that article is because we've been talking a lot about the Nephilim and giants. So, I won't make a caption on these things a lot of times. I just post them. And there's a reason why I post some things. So, when you see something like that, don't just scroll past it. Realize what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you that there are things out there that cannot be explained as of right now. But they will come up. We will learn about these giants. We will learn about the Nephilim. All of this has been hid from us. And under the Trump administration, the way we're going into this Great Awakening, all of this stuff that we've been lied to will be released and we will learn. So when I post something up there, take a minute, look at it. You don't have to read the whole article, but look at it. Store it, okay? Store this in your brain so when all this stuff starts to come out, you say, oh yeah, Jackie posted an article about a gigantic sword and the caption said, who could have wielded this? And I never thought nothing about it. I thought, well, maybe it was just a, really, kind of hefty, strong guy. I didn't realize he was like 8 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? So start paying attention. So let me get back into with the history of McConnell. So this judge started with other judges. They all got together and they created what they call the Federalist. And what they do is people that go into law, a lot of them will join, I guess it's like a club or something like that, but you know what I mean. They get inaugurated in with these, and these people make a list of who should be the next Supreme Court justice. Now, Clarence was one of them that went through. And of course, once again, the Democrats pulled out all the stops and they caught Mitch McConnell again off guard, and he was furious. Now, all this has built up to what is going on today. Now, that's just on the Mitch McConnell side. You can go all the way back to JFK when he wanted to get rid of the CIA. All right? He was assassinated. All right? We already know who assassinated him. Dirty Democrats wanting power. They didn't want the CIA disband. And what did JFK want to do? Break them up into a million pieces. All right? There's reason to believe that George Bush Sr. was behind that. He was in the CIA at the time. The vice president was probably involved in that. There's probably just a lot of people that are involved in it. All of this is going to come out. People have been saying this for a very long time. Eventually, we will learn who actually killed JFK. But it was always told to me, it'll be after everyone is dead. So I don't know if anyone will be alive left when this comes out, but we do know that George Sr. has already been taken care of. And remember at that funeral, those little cards that were passed around everybody was looking at, what did they say? I'm sorry, I told them everything. So do know he squealed. So there's a lot going on. Now, so you've got the people that at that time, hold on, what is that?
Is that somebody at my window?
When I say somebody, I mean like a cat, somebody. Yeah, okay, hold on a second. Somebody at the window, hold on. Lord of mercy. Move. I gotta get the baby in. Come on. Come on. Come on. Where are you? Come on. Get your ass in here. Oh, you damn animals. Oh, Lord of mercy. Oh. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I looked out the window. I saw these two little eyeballs staring at me. It's like, let me in. Oh, Lord, where was I? Okay, after JFK was killed, you had a group of people that said, you know what, enough is enough. And they started plotting how to take our country back. I am so sorry. Again, that's not the one that was peeking at me. That's the one that likes to keep sticking her butt in your face. Everybody needs a little cat butt, I suppose. So, this is the one. This was the little fish that was looking at me in the window saying, hello, hello. Okay. So, they started getting stuff together, started trying to figure out how they're going to do it. Whoa! When they're going to do it. Getting all their things together. They didn't want, from my understanding, from everything that I've researched, they did not want to have to get the military involved because they did not want to upset the American people. Oh, I gotta bring these cat butts. They wanted to get somebody in office that could go in on their own money, be respected, and someone that could not be bought, and that was Donald Trump. So if you go by JFK's death to Donald Trump being inaugurated, that's a long time that they've been planning to take care of this mess. Now, another thing I want to point out is, remember when Obama became president and nobody knew who the heck he was? He never passed any laws. He never did anything. He was just a junior senator. No one knew anything about him, but this guy wins an election. Yeah. Well, it comes to find out that, well, we all know there was a lot of cheating going on. Stop it. Not that McCain would have been a better president. Don't get me wrong. John McCain was very crooked, and that's just a whole nother story. But Obama got in because a lot of dead people voted. A lot of people voted twice. They went to nursing homes, got people to vote that probably didn't know what they were doing. You know, anybody's been to a nursing home, bless their heart. Some of them just don't know what they're doing. So he got the two He got it twice. I can figure out why, but he did. And it wasn't because he was the greatest president ever. He gets up there and he lies and he says there was no scams, nothing going on in this administration. I'm the only president that never had anything wrong in his administration. Well, now you're finding out, people, that they did. One, the Michelle was a man named Michael. The two girls were not their biological daughters. They were their best friends that always hung out with them. Those are their daughters. We're learning that he was selling out our country, that Joe Biden was making deals with the Ukraine, making money off of things that his son was doing, not just in Ukraine, but in China as well. We know Hillary Clinton was doing human trafficking with her Clinton Foundation. All this under the Obama administration. Here it is, as vice presidents making deals with foreign countries. His Secretary of State is trafficking children, doing human sacrificing, all kinds of illegal stuff, selling uranium to Russia, which everybody's screaming Russia's the bad guy, so why would you sell uranium to them? You know what uranium does? It makes bombs. And you're going to tell me he had no idea? Just was totally oblivious to all this stuff. Well, if anybody's seen any of the pictures on Hunter Biden's laptop, which I don't recommend trying to look at them. I mean, it's just so disgusting. This dude thought he was hot. Just really did. I mean, maybe when he was younger, before he was on drugs really bad, maybe he was a good-looking guy. I don't know, but ugh. Anyways, guess who's having relations with him? One of Obama's supposed daughters. So you're going to tell me that Obama didn't even know that his supposed daughter was having some kind of human contact relationship with the vice president's son? Do you think he didn't know? Do you think the Secret Service wasn't telling him? Do you think the daughter was like, please don't tell anybody? Do you not think? Oh my gosh. I mean, we can go into so much stuff, but I'm just kind of touching on some things. I just want to put these mental visions in your head right now. Okay? Either he was an incompetent president and knew nothing of what was going on and just was a smooth talker, or he knew exactly what was going on and they did everything they could to bury the stuff so no one would ever find out about it. And I think it's number B, the second one. He knew. All right? So, you had Hillary Clinton, who has been wanting to be the president when her husband was president. She was angry that she had to be the first lady. She had to act like a first lady. She had to decorate the White House. She had to do the tree stuff and look a certain way. She hated it because she was not a Susie Homemaker. All right? She's not a Susie Homemaker. The woman is very... So, she wanted to be president. Bad. So she was told that Obama would go first and set everything up for her, and then she would move in and become president after Obama. And then what the plan was, because now Russia had all that uranium, you know, they were going to do things with it. They were going to go ahead. Obama had already given a lot of money to Iran. A lot of our tax dollars, gave it to Iran. He did this in the heat of the night when nobody knew about it. Just did it. Didn't tell anybody who was doing it. He just did it. Okay? But that's okay. Because he was the greatest. Whatever. Then she was going to start up some friction with Russia. And start another war, which would have been World War III. And then she was going to do the bombs. And what was going to happen was half of the population should have been wiped out. Now, after this would have done, she would have tried to say, well, we need to unite as one world, and we're going to be the one world order. Now, the only other time, if you can remember, hearing one world order, remember when George Bush Sr. talked about it. the one world order, the warp speed, and all this kind of shit he was talking about, okay? They were already planning this back with the Bushes. The Bushes, the Clintons, and the Obamas have been friends for ages. Ages, do you hear me? Ages. They're all in it together. This is why the best friends. This is why, Bush and Clinton raising money here. This is why they take pictures together and giggle and laugh. Because when George Bush Sr. was in the CIA, Obama's stepfather was like his best friend back then and used to do like the dirty work. So when he became president, he got connected back with his best friend. So Obama spent a lot of time with the Bushes as a little child. All right. We already know that George Bush Sr. was a pedophile, bad pedophile. All right. Do you not think Obama was, as a child, abused by these people? Yes. Do you think that's maybe why he's a gay man? And I would say yes. Do you think this is why he is so easy to be controlled? And I would say yes. Do you think that Michelle, aka Michael, is his handler? And I would say yes. Okay? Just start putting it all together. Start adding your dots. Put them together, guys. You're not stupid. I'm doing the best I can trying to show you this picture. All right? Okay. So now here comes Hillary, and she's running against Donald Trump. Nobody thought he would be president. I mean, as soon as he came down the escalator, boom, I had my vision. So I already knew he was the president. I was just, ask anybody, I was confident. I knew. So it didn't surprise me that he became the president because I already saw him become the president. And I also saw him become the president twice. So they had it rigged where we're going to have glitches in the computer system, which has happened before. And guess who does that? The CIA. And they do this in other countries when they want someone to become the president or the ruler or whatever it is. They do these little glitches and change the voter counts to other countries. So it doesn't surprise me that they've done it to us. But Team Trump and the White Hats already knew about it. Now, he already had a meeting with Mitch McConnell as he was running. And Mitch McConnell was questioning whether or not he could trust Trump. But after they had their meeting, Mitch McConnell trusted Trump because Trump was, yeah, that's a great idea. Send me your list. I'm on it. He put 100% trust into Mitch McConnell, would choose the right people, give him the right list of people to put in the Supreme Court. Mitch McConnell respected him for accepting, what he had, and that was going along with it. So this is how the two of them got together. Does this make sense now? Okay? So you have Mitch McConnell already behind Trump. Trump is with Mitch. He's got a lot of other people, the White Hats, because remember, they went to him and asked him, right? These military people, they said, this is what's going on. This is what we've got going. And they presented it to him, and they said, we need you. This country needs you. And Trump decided, and I'm sure it just wasn't right away. I'm sure he talked about it with Melania. I'm sure he talked about it with his other ex-wives because, of course, it's going to affect their lives. I'm sure he talked about it with his children. It's going to affect their lives. And the decision was made, and the decision was to save this country. So now this is where we're at now. So there they go, voting night. CIA ready to push that button, make those glitches, right? It's not working. What's going on? Military intelligence stopped it. They put a halt to that. So the only thing you had was the dead voters, which vote every election. These dead people, I tell you what. When you die, you think that's it? No, you come back and you vote. Who would have ever thought, What happens after you die, Mommy? Well, honey, you come back and you vote for the different party. Well, I guess that's what we just start telling our children. So the dead people came back to vote. People that weren't legally able to vote, of course, they voted. And then you have some people that voted more than one time. You always got those as well. And then you have the people who make up ballots and just sign some names because this person didn't come in or whatever. You had all that. But it wasn't enough. So Trump won. This is why the media was like, They were shocked because the media already knew that Hillary was going to win the election. Because see, if you look up Operation Mockingbird, you will know that the CIA runs the media. So if the CIA is changing the votes, don't you think the media is going to know about it? So now let's go fast forward to this election, guys, okay? All right, you've got sniffy Uncle Joe Biden, who likes to sniff and bite kids, whisper sweet nothings in their ear. Another one who likes children an awful lot. And another one who, I believe, has had extra physical relations with his children and grandchildren. And there's no wonder why his son Hunter has relationships with his niece. Disgusting, yes, but they like to keep it in the family, I guess. Ooh, the Bidens. So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, if they're brought up that way, that's the way they're going to be. And I really feel sorry for the grandchildren. I really do, because that's just disgusting. So we're not going to go any farther into that. Anybody wants to know more, just get with me. I'll tell you everything I know. I'll lead you down the right road if they haven't cleared everything off. I don't know what all I have saved, but do know it's disgusting. So let's move past that. So what they did this time is, because anybody who's trying to listen to NESARA GESARA, one of the things NESARA GESARA is to fix and clean up our election process to make sure that your voice counts. So what they had to do this time was let them change the votes. But don't you think they had it rigged where they could catch them and trace it and find out exactly who was doing what? Yes. All right. Now, Mitch McConnell gave Donald Trump the names of the Supreme Court justice. You go back and you look at some of these Supreme Court justices, and they were on the team that represented George Bush when there was a voting problem against Al Gore. Now they're Supreme Court justices. They're not lawyers. They're Supreme Court justices now. Does anybody think that's ironic? Do you see where we're going now? Do you get it? These people are very qualified for the jobs that they have. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong on that. They're qualified. They're going to be damn good. All right? They're going to follow the Constitution. They are. But they have history knowing things. So Mitch McConnell, move them. Here we go. Chess. We're moving people where we want them. Always 10 steps ahead of the Democrats. We also have watermarks on the paper for the voting ballots. All of this is going to come out when they do the ultraviolet lights. They're going to be able to track where all these fake ballots came from because of the Corn Invisible ink that Xerox and Canon came up with back in the 80s. All right? So now they're going to know what printer, where that printer is for all the fake ballots. All right? You've got several witnesses that, one, have either witnessed it and are testifying, or part of it and testifying. People who have watched it on TV and watched the glitz and saw the votes that were like this go like this. All right? The media was calling states way too early for Biden, but refused to call states for Trump. Because when I went to bed, Trump was ahead in Rhode Island. He had Rhode Island. He had Maine and one other state. And I thought, wow, I knew we were going to change some states red, but I didn't think those. I was thinking California. When I wake up the next day, they were blue. And I'm like, what the shit? He had over 500 votes. Biden was only like at 200. That shit had been called. And they were like 75, 80% done. So what happened, right? That's what happened. Trump let that happen. The White Hats let it happen because they're going to be able to trace it. Now, when it goes back to the CIA doing the glitch, this is going to finish what John F. K. wanted. All right, it's going to get rid of the CIA. That's one alphabet 3-letter administration gone. All right, gone. Bye. See you later. The IRS, bye-bye, gone. That's part of NESARA GESARA, okay? We've already gotten rid of the federal bank because that's not even constitutional, and that can be all the way tracked back to the Titanic, believe it or not. And anybody that wants to know that story, get with me if you want me to do a video just on the Titanic and the Federalist Bank. Let me know. I will make one just for that. That one was very interesting, and I was kind of shocked because I didn't even see that one. But yeah, the Titanic is all wrapped up in this crap. So that wasn't even constitutional. The money that we paid in taxes went all the way to the Vatican. All right, so the Vatican was getting our money. Why do you think Trump visited all these strategic places? Because he was showing them their crimes, that they had it, and either they were going to play ball with him or he was taking them down. This is why there's no more Queen of England. This is why you're not seeing Prince Charles. This is why Buckingham Palace isn't open, because they're not there. All right, Buckingham Palace is going to become a museum. It's gone. No more monarchs. Why do you think so many of them are dying? They're not dying of COVID. They're being put down, okay? Very bad people, all right? All this is going to come out. All of it's going to come out. Like right now, you've got people that are already being arrested. Maybe it's not big name people, but I am posting so-and-so caught doing something with voter fraud. All right, people are getting arrested. This is why I begged people, if you know someone who is part of this, or you are one of these people and you're looking at this video and you've done something, you need to come forward, because they're not playing with you. He's already made executive orders, all right? Look him up. He just made 2 executive orders. And to give you an idea of what one of these executive orders is, they freeze everything. You can't get a line of credit. You can't get a loan. You can't get out of this country. You can't donate money. You can't have money donated to you. You're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your car. You're going to lose everything. You are going to be butt naked on the side of the street. This is what they're doing to people who mess with this election. And I'm not joking. All right? I will look it up and post it probably tomorrow. That's these 2 executive orders. Now, he did one with people who were human trafficking, crimes against humanity. That one there, if you're found guilty of crimes against humanity, they seize all of your money. Okay, they take your house, they take your car, they take your 401, they take all of your gold, your silver, everything. All right? This is what happened to the Vatican. This is what happened to the Queen of England. Where do you think all of this money for NESARA GESARA is coming from? Everybody who is part of human trafficking, who is part of organ harvesting, who is part of human sacrificing, who is part of eating these children. All right? This is all crimes against humanity. These people are being arrested. These people are being executed. These people are going to Gitmo. Their money, everything is getting taken away from them. All these Hollywood stars. Why do you think Ellen did that thing when she was talking about that life wasn't fair? That it was set up that way. That people couldn't get ahead. Why do you think she was crying? She was trying to confess. She was part of it. She's part of it. Oprah. The wonderful Oprah, who's always giving free cars away. Why do you think she gave free cars away? Because it was a tax write-off. Think Oprah really cared about you, wanted to give you a free car? You still had to pay that insurance, and you still had to get that car tag, and trust me, that wasn't cheap. You ever watch people on Price is Right and freak out when they try to leave to get those cars? I mean, you've got to pay the taxes right there. You don't get to leave with them, all right? You don't have the money to pay the taxes, you don't get the car. It's like at the casino, and they have those big, beautiful cars up there, and you win the jackpot, and you're like, people started saying, no, I don't want the car, just give me the money, because they knew they had to have everything before they could take the car out of the casino. And most people couldn't afford the taxes or the insurance. I know a lot more than what people think I do, all right? So trust me, Oprah Winfrey, all those free cars, the people probably didn't tell you how many people couldn't leave with that free car because they didn't have the money. Okay? All right, so let's move on to what else is going on. All right, so now you're going to have all these lawsuits. Some of these crooked Democrats are going to fight because they don't want to go down. And it's going to go to the Supreme Court. Now, what did Mitch McConnell do? He's got the Supreme Court set up, right? Just about every one of them, Clarence, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy, those three right there are going to be the most important three people because they went through hell with the Democrats. Clarence went through hell with Biden, all right? Amy went through hell with just about all of them. And then Kavanaugh went through hell with Kamala Harris, all right? Do you not think that this is going to bite them in the ass? Do you not think that? They said things and did things that they shouldn't have done, that they had no relevance to anything, all right? I mean, some of you may think, oh no, just because someone says they've been sexually harassed does not mean they've been sexually harassed, all right? Women have been playing this game for a long time, and I apologize to women who have been harassed or abused or all that because I'm right there with you. I have been too. My husband beat the holy shit out of me, tried to kill me with a shotgun, all right? I've been there too. So this is why I feel confident that I can say this. For people like me, for people that have been through this, I cannot stand a woman to get up there and lie and say she was raped or felt harassed or whatever because she can use that to her advantage. That pisses me off. This is why many women do not go to court, do not testify against their abusers because they don't want to be considered a liar or a whore or slut. It's because too many women get up there and lie. So because of that, most people can't believe them. Then when someone does get up there and lie, then you tell, oh, you have to believe them all. What is going on with people? So it irks me, all right? It irks me. So, not saying that they're going to sock it to them. It's all going to be constitutional. Because all the evidence that the media is trying to tell you that they don't have, they have. They got it all. They got witnesses. They've got things off the TV screen from CNN itself doing the glitch. People have caught it. You had one guy that got on there and he went through the registrations of the voters and then he matched it to people that were dead and found a 170-year-old man. 170 years old voting. Do you really think that would have been national news watching that 170-year-old man go in there to cast his ballot? The news media should have been there watching that. Don't you think? Someone that's almost 200 years old going to vote. Don't you think the media would have been there to video that? All right. So did you understand my point now? All right. All of those do not count. And if this guy on his own computer can do this and then tells you how to do it for your own state, and he says he's already sent it to the Department of Justice and others and made a video, he's just an everyday guy. Everyday guy, nothing. He's nothing special to him. He's probably a dad, probably got 3 kids and a cocker spaniel and a white picket fence. You know, he's a nobody. Probably, you know, is a teacher. You know, maybe he teaches like first grade or something. I don't know. You know, maybe he's the physical ed teacher. I don't know. Probably not very popular. You know, maybe he doesn't have a lot of friends, but he found it. He found it on his own. So, do you honestly think that there's no voter fraud? That's because the media works for the CIA, and the CIA tells them to say this. They have a script that they have to say. They're like actors. They read the script. This is why you put on CNN, they're saying this, and you turn it over to MSNBC, they're saying the same exact thing. You're like, wait a second. That's kind of weird. They're using the same exact wording. And you go to ABC. What's going on, man? This is why, because they're all given the same script. So it doesn't matter what news media you're watching, you're getting the same exact script. This is why you can't trust Fox News anymore. You can trust Tucker Carlson, you can trust Hannity, and Laura Ingraham. But that's about it. And out of all of them, I would rather listen to Tucker because I've heard him at other places just doing speeches, and that man is smart. And that's why I really started more listening to Tucker was after listening to some of his independent speeches where he goes out and talks with people and stuff, and they were asking him questions. That man is, boom, he's good. But yeah, I mean, those are about the only three. That's why, when someone says, where do you get your news? I say, well, I listen to BCP and I listen to what Surfing with Santa's got. And that's where I pretty much get my breakdowns. And sometimes I'll kind of dig around. I'll look at was it ONW News? Sometimes I listen to them a little bit. The Epoch Now, sometimes I'll listen to a little bit of what they got. But other than that, I don't mess with the mainstream media anymore because they're lying. Now, something else I want to tell people, for ones who did not take civics, did not study history, know nothing about the Constitution. Everyone has heard of the Electoral College, right? Do you know what the Electoral College is? What it is, it's people that say whatever the Secretary of State tells them. Okay, they're going to say, well, we had the majority of votes for this person. You are supposed to go vote for this person. And the Electoral College is supposed to take what state voted for what person. That Electoral College that represents that state goes and votes. Now, when Hillary, was it Hillary? I want to say it was Hillary. They were talking about some of the electoral colleges were going to vote against what the state wanted, and they're not supposed to do that. It's whatever your state won. So if your state voted for Biden, and let's say was legit, that state did do it, and they couldn't find any voter fraud, then that electoral college goes and votes for Biden, and that's his vote. So until they go vote, Biden is not the president, all right? But let me explain something else to you. President Trump is still the president. He is the president until January 20th, when they would do the inauguration for a new president. But if President Trump wins through the Electoral College, then President Trump stays as president. So when you hear people saying, well, Trump is not president anymore, they're lying to you, because President Trump is the president until January 20th. Okay? I heard one commentary on CNN was screaming and saying that we need to arrest President Trump. The military needs to go in and pull him out of the White House because he is trespassing. All right? Let me clarify this again for people who do not understand. When you're elected president, you are the president for 4 years, unless you die or you resign or whatever, okay? Then there is another vote. You are able to run for president twice consecutive, okay? And that was because that's what George Washington did. He only did 2 terms. Roosevelt did the multiple terms, and they wanted to make sure that no one else ever did that again, so it became that president gets 2 terms. So Donald Trump would stay president until the Electoral College votes in December. They vote in December, and then the next person does the inauguration in January. So President Trump would be the president through November. He would be the president through December. Now, if Biden was voted by the Electoral College, then Biden would be the president-elect, which means that he was elected to be the next president. Then in January, he would be inaugurated where he would swear on the Bible to uphold the laws of the Constitution, represent the people, and blah, blah, blah. That last day, that's when President Trump has everything that he's taking, that is his, out of the White House. Normally what happens is the family that's in there welcomes the new family moving in. I guess they have coffee, tea, cupcakes, whatever. I don't know. Maybe they barbecue in the back. I have no idea. The First Lady shows them around, gives them the lowdown on this, and then handshake. They turn the keys over to the next president. That one leaves and the other one's in. Does this make sense? Okay, that's how it goes. So until the day that Biden would raise his hand and have his other one on the Bible, until then, he is not the president. Does that make sense to you? So when the media said he is now the 46th president of the United States, celebrate your new president, the media knew that they had cheated. And what they're doing is setting up people to get very mad, upset, and confused because they took civics out of school. They do not teach the Constitution to young children anymore. This is why you have all these pink and green hair kids with piercings all over their face, can't get a job, lazy, and blame everything that's wrong in their lives on the government, and want another Democrat in there to give them some money, a free cell phone, food stamps, free college, so they can continue to be lazy and blame things on everyone. They're not going to be productive people because no one's making them be productive, all right? It's just like that uncle that comes over and stays forever and won't leave, and he stays on the couch, and you're like, oh my God, when's Uncle Teddy going to leave? You know, he's that person. Or you see that poor family that's got their 40-year-old son still living at home, walks around with a beer gut and a t-shirt and his shorts, won't even go outside and cut the grass for his parents, so his poor old father's out there cutting the yard, and you're thinking, why is that guy doing that? He's 40 years old. He doesn't date. That's because he's too busy playing video games. He's probably a pedophile. Oh my God. But do you see where I'm going? This is that generation. They're lazy. They don't want to work. When they do get a job, they don't even show up to work, or they complain the whole time they're at work. Well, why do I gotta do that? Well, because you get paid to do that. You don't get paid to come in, clock in, and sit over there in the corner and watch everybody else work and then clock out and get your paycheck at the end of the week. They don't understand. It doesn't compute. They think they just show up and they get a paycheck. And then if they have to do something, they complain and get mad and say, you're mean. She's mean. She's making me sweep the floor. I wasn't hired to sweep the floor. I was hired to put these boxes over there. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I can't stand those people. Why do I have to listen to her? She's not my boss. You need to do something about Jackie. You know what? It's because I was brought up in a different type of household. Let me just tell you right off the bat. My grandmother, Grammy Bland, worked for a very long time. After she and my grandfather got divorced, she still worked. She had her own house. She bought her own car. She was a very independent woman. She was very close to my father, which sometimes was aggravating because we never went anywhere without Grammy Bland. Grammy Bland for Christmases slept on our couch to make sure nobody got up in the middle of the night to go look at the Christmas tree. Every family vacation, wherever we were, there was Grammy Bland. I mean, she was everywhere. But she was hardworking, and she was a tough woman, all right? Very tough. She loved my father to death. She was always into whatever was going on, and my dad loved her to death. And because now I have a son, I can understand, because my son loves me to death, and he's all the time worried about me. And Mommy, you're okay. So I do understand that, and I do have a lot of my Grammy Bland traits in me. I'm hardworking, and it's not because Grammy Bland told me to. It's just something that's in my genetic makeup. I'm hardworking. I don't ask for a lot of help, and it takes a lot for me to ask for help. I'll probably work way into my 70s until I can't do it anymore. I don't complain unless someone has really made me angry, and then I'm going to complain. But then once I get it out, I'm okay. My dad was a hard worker. My dad kept getting pneumonia. And the last time he had his case of pneumonia, they told him, said, well, you know, Mr. Bland, why don't you go and see a heart doctor? Because we think that maybe all this pneumonia has probably affected your heart. We just want you to go have it checked out. So my dad went to a heart doctor. And guess what the doctor said when he got there on his very first appointment? We need to go across the street and operate immediately. My dad needed a triple bypass. All right, my dad flatlined in surgery. I knew when my dad died. I didn't know he went into surgery, but I knew when my dad died. and I was trying to call the office, and I couldn't get a hold. And finally, my older brother, William, I got a hold of him, and I flipped out that my dad was in the hospital. I immediately went back, stayed with him for a period of time, and helped him get back on his feet. But you know, when my dad would wake up, I got to call my drivers. I got to get them set up with their drive. I mean, my dad just gets out of surgery, just barely wakes up, and he's already trying to get on the telephone and work, all right? Then my dad had throat cancer. Same thing. He was trying so hard to work right after he had stuff there. He was trying to do it from the hospital. He had my older brother, William, helping him. He had my brother, Bobby, helping him. But my dad was still trying to work. Now, that, I think, is where I get a lot of my work ethic. My dad didn't call out when he was sick. I don't ever remember my dad saying, I don't feel good, I'm just going to stay in bed. My dad would come home early when he didn't feel good, but my dad would go to work every day. I can't, and I'm being honest, I'm sitting here scanning. I can't remember growing up in Long Beach with my dad ever staying home because he felt bad. Now, this was just mentally put in me, all right? I worked at the Hard Rock Casino for 7 years. I didn't call out. Never called out. Never once. If I didn't feel good, I went to work. If I felt really bad and I got there, which I think one time I had food poisoning and I had to go because I couldn't get out the bathroom. It was awful. I don't recommend getting food poisoning. But I mean, other than that, I was there. My son got into a motorcycle wreck, and his bone came out of his leg in 2 spots. And he was across the street in the hospital. And all I asked my job was to do was, I just wanted to make sure I got off on time because I needed to go back to the hospital when I got off work. I went to the hospital before I went to work. And I asked him, just when my son calls me, let me be able to get to the phone and talk to him. Because my son suffers from depression, which I suffer from depression. And they put you in chairs sometimes at the hospital, and they leave you there for hours, and it would hurt my son, and nobody would answer him. So I would have to, he'd call me, then I'd have to call the nurse's desk, and they're like, well, I said, no, my son says you're ignoring him. And I do know that hospital has problems with them doing that. So I ended up having to talk to this nurse, and I said, look, my son suffers from depression. So if you just leave him in there and he's in pain, he's going to get really depressed. And I don't want him like that. So you need to walk by, just check on him and make sure he's okay. And so I got on real good talking terms with one of them, but that sometimes you just have to do that. And I promised my boss, Tarzan, I said, Tarzan, I won't call out. I'll be here every day. I promise. I won't leave, just call out. I'll be here. And I did. Every day I was there. A lot of people can't say that they can do that. My son understands the way I work. He understands that. And that's just part of the way my dad was and the way my grandmother was. Now also I'm part Cherokee Indian. And that's where I get a lot of this strong will from. My mother, I don't know what was wrong with her. My mother had a lot of issues, and they all started coming full circle as she got older. She had dementia real bad. Now her mother my grandmother has got dementia real bad, so I worry about me getting dementia when I get older, so hopefully I don't. But I get a lot of more stubbornness and my will to do things because my family, my Cherokee family, survived the Trail of Tears. So there was a fighter in my family. And I do have pictures of her. And my mother looks just like her. And so does my grandmother. And I'll probably look just like her, I'm sure. So this is where I get my strong will. So when someone sits there and cries and says, I can't do this, I get mad because I go to work with a migraine. I'll eat a couple of chocolate bars. I'll take an Excedrin, and I work through it. I work through it. I've been when I couldn't even walk. All right, my bone spurs. I'm there. I'm running up and down, whatever I got to do. I'm sick to my stomach. My son's in the hospital. Whatever I had, I'm at work. And I'm thinking to myself, if I can do this, and you're upset because your boyfriend won't talk to you and you can't come to work, that pisses me off. So I don't get this generation of, you're mean to me. No, I'm not being mean. I'm being honest to you. If my ass can be here, get up and be here feeling like shit, then your ass can get over whatever the hell's bothering you, do what you gotta do, and then go home and take care of whatever problem you got. But as far as I'm concerned, you show up, your ass works. You're not going to sit there and boo-hoo. I mean, now, if someone's died or you just, I'm respectful. But I'm just talking about, in general, somebody just trying to get out of doing some work. And I've been told somebody, you're mean, you make me cry. Just please, I don't want to hear it. Because I know it can physically be done. I'm not a big woman. I'm only 4'11". All right, I'm 51 years old, and I'm still running circles around kids younger than me. It can be done. You just have to put your mind to it and do it. And that's what America is about. It's not about sitting down and feeling sorry for yourself all the time and wanting everyone else to take care of you. It's about doing the work yourself. All of these people that came from other countries, they just didn't sit around and let the government give them anything. The government didn't have anything to give them. All right? When they came in, saw the Statue of Liberty, if they couldn't pronounce their name, they did the best they could, and this is where you get some people that have different last names than their family overseas. All right? They went and they got jobs. A lot of your Italians and stuff, what was the other one? Oh, gosh, your Irish. More your Irish. Your Irish went into like police departments. Irish were picked on, but they went in and did. This is why when you go to New York, they're mainly Irish. All right. Italians did a lot of cooking. They did stuff like them. Plus, they brought the mob with them. But I mean, hey, they were working. They were working. May not have been the kind of work we wanted them to do, but they were working. Lord have mercy. I mean, but you see what I mean? They just didn't sit around and say, wee. They got up and they did something. All right? They just didn't sit around and cry and mope and scream and holler and boo-hoo and, they don't have money to feed their kids, but they go get a new tattoo. Don't have money for this, but yet they go get some new piercings. I mean, do you see what they're thinking? If you don't have money to put gas in your car, why in the hell are you going to go put $200 down on a tattoo? Your priorities are not right. And that's everything what's wrong with this country is because the Democrats started putting it in there. Oh, we'll take care of you. We're going to give you money. Well, whose money are they giving you? I'm working. You're taking my money and you're giving it to this lazy asshole. But do you see where I'm getting? All this shit's got to get fixed. People are going to have to start taking responsibility for their own actions. They're going to have to get off their ass. Start working, be proud to be working, be glad to be working because you appreciate it when you work. You do. You may not like working. I don't like working, but I love what I have and I take care of what I have. And I work damn hard for what little bit I do have. And that's the way it should be. So, but the government, the people that get in there, they're greedy. When I got my job at Casino Magic, the first thing I learned from that cage manager was wherever there's money, there's always going to be thieves. Think how much money Congress can control. Look how much power they have. Do you not think that some of these people get in there just for that? If you don't realize that, then you don't know anything. Pelosi, look how many years she's been in there. What has she done besides destroy California? All right, start looking at some of these. Maxine Walters, look at the house she lives in, but look at the area she represents. You see what I mean? How can she live in this big, beautiful house, but yet the people that live in her district live on the streets? Do you see what I mean? And then you go to Republican-run states, and you don't see as much as that. So it tells you something right there. Tells you something. Not all Republicans are angels. I'm not saying that. Please don't take it as that's what I'm trying to say, because that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that one side of the table is all about themselves, their friends, and what they can get out of it, while the other side, more or less, is working harder for the people. I was always told growing up that the Republicans are for big business and the Democrats for the people. That's why younger people are always Democrats, because this is what we're told. This is what's implemented in our brains every day at school. But as I got older and started working, things just didn't make sense to me. And then I started digging and learning and becoming smarter. And I said, wait a second. So, all these people with all this funky color hair can't get jobs, boo-hooing and crying. Know that they're not going to stop boo-hooing and crying. All right? They're going to get violent. They're going to get ugly. They're going to get mean. People are just going to be downright crazy because the media is planting this in their heads. Mind control ultra. Biden is the president. Biden is the president. So in their minds, people are already posting on Facebook, Biden's the president. You know, Trump needs to move out the White House. They don't know because they didn't study. They didn't want to know. Anybody can know. Even if you didn't, you can go to the library and get books. You can look it up on the internet. So this is what I want everybody to know. Everything that's going on is going the way that Trump and his team wanted it to go. Because if they didn't show you all of this fraud, they would not be able to change the way we're going to vote in the future. Now, this is going to be artificial intelligence, which I'm not really hip on. I really do. I have a feeling that artificial intelligence, maybe 20 years, 30 years, maybe 100 years down the road, it may backfire on us. But as of right now, there will be no cheating. You can't cheat. Your banking system will be safe. All your information will be safe. No one will be able to hack into it anymore. But we can't go to this system until we expose the voter fraud. So this is why they didn't stop the glitch. This is why they had all of the watermarks. This is why they have the National Guard in certain places. This is why they know what states they actually won, because they were watching the numbers, okay? They know who was supposed to vote and who the dead voters are, all right? All they're waiting for is to get a hold of those ballots, and as soon as they do, boom, boom, boom. So do know a lot of people are going to jail, and they're going to jail for a very, I'm not saying going to jail for 2 years. I'm saying a long time, 25, 30, maybe 40 years, depending on exactly what they did. They could probably go to jail for 99 years, all right? We're talking about really, really some hard jail time here. We're not talking 2 years. So, you can say whatever you want about Joe Biden. You can say, well, it doesn't matter. People vote and they cheat all the time. He's just a president. We should just allow it. Quit saying that. Because this is why Trump was put in office. This is why people voted for him. Because we're tired of it. Do you like it when you're looked over at a job? Why you can't get a promotion but everybody else gets promoted? Do you like it? And you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? All right? Okay? How about sports? You know you're good at something, but they never put you on the field because they put everybody else on the field. Do you like it? Do you stay playing that sport even though you never get to play? Do you see what I'm saying, where things are not fair? All right? Well, if you don't get to play, you'll quit, right? You don't get promoted at that job, you quit. You go to something else. But it doesn't make it right. You just go on. But there's just some things you don't get to quit and move to something else. And voting is one of them. If you cannot put your voice in for who you want to be president, governor, a senator, whatever, because someone else decided, no, I want him to be, that's not fair. That's not legal. And it's not fair. Because the way the Constitution is written, your voice is important. You are the boss. You get to say who it is. And if more of people think like you, then that's who gets to be in those offices. Not George down the road who says, well, I'm just going to change all your ballots because I don't like that guy. Well, that's not fair. So You can say what you want. Oh, I'm just going to go with it. I don't care. It's always the same old thing. It's not the same old thing anymore. Nothing about President Trump has been the same old thing. I said it in my vision. I said that Trump would change everything about politics. Nothing would ever be the same again. And as you can see, nothing will be. All right? Now, remember that other premonition that I've been telling y'all about the state of Mississippi. I want to go over it really quick because I know this has been an hour. Okay. I said the state of Mississippi was going to do something. I didn't know what it was, but it was going to do something. It was going to lead the way and other states would follow. Now, I was upset about the flag, and let me tell you why I was upset about the flag. Because the Confederate flag has always been shown that back in the Confederacy, it was the battle flag. It wasn't the state flag. That was the battle flag. That's the flag they just wrote into battle. Okay, that's what a battle flag means. So, people put that on their state flags, ones that were in Confederacy, because why do we want to remember this? So we don't do it again. There goes my cat. Ugh, she fell asleep on my hand and made my hand go to sleep. Come on, guys. So people put it on their state flag, so we'll remember. It's kind of like they say, remember the Alamo. Why do you want to remember the Alamo? Because people sacrificed their lives for complete strangers. You know, Davy Crockett, all of them went over there. Didn't have to, but they did, and they lost their lives defending people they didn't know, because to them it was the right thing to do. So do you understand? So this is why they put the Confederate flag on a lot of the southern states, so we would not forget. It wasn't because we're a bunch of assholes. We don't like certain people. We think that we're still the Confederacy, we're singing whatever the hell we are. No, it was so we don't forget. Why there's their statues? To remember certain people for what they did, whether good or bad. Doesn't mean because it upsets you that you get to go over there and tear it down because you're offended by it. It's so you do not forget. And I'm so tired of people saying, that offends me, I'm going to tear it down. You know what offends me? Seeing your freaking underwear. All right? Or like a 700-pound woman wearing a size 3. All right? That offends me. It's disgusting. I don't like looking at it, but you know what I do? I try to close my eyes and get away from it. That's what you do with statues. That's what you do with the flags. You don't like it, just don't look at it. All right? Something on TV, I don't like. I don't like watching two gay men making out. That's not what I want to look at. Either I want to watch a drama or a mystery. I don't want to watch. I don't even understand why that's part of the show. Why does that need to be put in there? That has nothing to do with what's going on, But you always have to have these scenes. Why? I don't. Why do you have to have a love story and everything? Why can't, I don't have a love story going on. I got a lot of drama, but no love story. It would be stupid, to do a movie about me and put a love scene in here because there's no love going on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see a lot of stuff, so I don't watch it. All right? I'm listening to something on the radio. I don't like a song that comes on, which there's a lot of songs I don't like. I change the channel. Same thing. You don't like something, don't look at it. Don't go there. Don't visit it. Whatever. Don't tear it down. I don't go around destroying albums at the music place. I don't go to the radio station and burn it down because they play the song I don't like. You see what I'm saying? God. I hope I'm making some sense here and trying to explain to you. Now, some of you will be like, yeah, I already know that. Well, yeah, but there's plenty of people who don't. They just think because they don't like something, it gives them the right to tear it up. No. All right? What if there's somebody in their house? You don't like the color of their house. Do you get to go burn it down because you don't like the color? No. You just get over it. It's like, whatever. Let me drive past it. Don't look at it. It's just, oh, my God. It just doesn't give people the right. So I was seeing the state flag, our state flag, as the last state that was hanging on to history. And that was important because whatever the state of Mississippi that was going to do, our flag was going to fly. Does that make sense now? So when I saw this article a couple of days ago about our governor saying that no matter who the president is, the state of Mississippi was not locking down no matter what they said. I was like, okay, now I see something. So be watching what the state of Mississippi does. We are going to do something, and that other states are going to follow. We are going to lead the way to something. That's what I told you before. And I do believe that it's still happening. I wish we had our flag. It would have been a grand thing for people in other states to support Mississippi and fly that flag. You see where I'm going? Now there's a possibility that people will get the old flag and maybe fly it, because I still see that flag flying. I don't know. I'm never 100% right, but I'm never 100% wrong, people. So hang in there. But the state of Mississippi is going to step up for something. I do not like Tate. I will not be voting for Tate again, because Tate lied to us when he said that the flag would stay. And then he turned around and put it on a vote. That really upset me. You don't do that. He should have said that in his platform. He really should have. He should have been honest with us. And I don't like someone who says one thing and then does something else. And that's the one thing we can say about Trump, because whatever Trump says he's going to do, he does it. And that's why people like Trump. Tate said he wasn't going to mess with the flag, and he turned around and messed with it. That's a lie. That made people really mad. So I won't be voting for him again. But I still have confidence that our state is going to step up and do something, and people are going to look to us as leaders in whatever it is that we're doing. So stay strong, Mississippi. Be confident. Something is getting ready to happen with our state, and we're going to shine, and the people of Mississippi will be respected for it. So take pride of being a Mississippian. Okay? So after this, I think that is all. Like I said, anything you want me to go over, if you want me to do something on the Titanic, go into really depth with that, I will. That's real interesting, and I think more people need to know about that. I know I've got some bracelets, and let me show you one of them. I've got this one right here. I've got some of these to sell, and some other ones I've got in. This is really, really pretty. So I'm going to make just a video on some bracelets and stuff that I have to sell. Here's another one. I just love these things. These are really, really pretty. So I'll make a video just on those. If anybody that's looking for some crystal bracelets and stuff like that, I'll make a video just for that. I'll still do readings for anybody who wants to get with me on a Saturday. I don't have to use cards here. I can actually just sit with someone and pick up. But if you'd rather me use the cards, I can use cards. But yeah, anything like that, just let me know. Just get with me. You can private message me on my Facebook page, or give me a holler through the messenger on Facebook, or if you got my phone number, just text me, because if I don't recognize the phone number offhand, I won't answer, especially if I'm at work, and I'm always at work. So, just give me a holler. I will meet people halfway. If they want to buy a bracelet, or they're more than welcome to come here, if you don't mind the cats. But yeah, so let me get off here. Let me say, do not give up hope in our president. He is fighting hard, and it's going to be a beautiful thing when he's done. A lot of good things coming, medical beds, cures, all kinds of stuff. So don't give up hope in our president. Don't worry about Biden. All that stuff is going to pass. We will never, ever be under a Biden presidency. It's not going to happen. Remember, the Trump administration and the white hats are always 10 steps ahead of the Democrats. So it's not going to happen. So good night. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Sleep tight. Don't worry about things. Try to stay away from the news as much as you can. If you pop on Facebook, I'm posting a lot of pictures of beautiful scenery and birds. It's because we need to calm down and be a lot peaceful. But if I do post something like giant swords, or a tomb of somebody that looks like they're like 15 feet tall, I mean, pay attention to it, because there's a reason why I do that. So, love y'all. Take care, and bye.